Hey there, YouTubers, viewers, subscribers, and non-subscribers. RoseRed17 here, and welcome to my channel. This is the review video of Rave Master Volume 4, Chapters 22 to 30. Beginning from where we left off, Ellie finds the place of the Thunderman and walks inside. At first, it was pitch black, but then the lights come on, revealing the man sitting on his throne. But it turns out that he's not the guy she's looking for, and so she tries to leave, but couldn't because he is threatening her, or at least he tries to, but no luck as Ellie is too busy trying to find a way out. The man was about to attack her, but then an explosion came up behind him, revealing Haru, who is the one that caused the explosion, looking for Ellie, who is glad to see him and wants to leave. But Haru has some business to take care of with the Thunderman, but he finds him unconscious. He asks one of the men to wake him up so he can chat with him. But then a woman named Rosa appeared and has the ability to give men to dance for her, which happens to Haru and her own men until she stopped the music. Haru shouted at her to stop the rain, but then she told him that she can't, and get this, they are shooting a movie, and the guy on the ground is the movie director. So yeah, I'm gonna sum it up right here, right now. The reason the rain doesn't stop in the village for the past 5 years is because these idiots wants to film a movie. Talk about scoundrel. And Haru was thinking the same thing as he goes in for the attack. But Rosa got him dancing again, and now it looks like it's up to Ellie to save the day. I like the fact that Haru has doubts about Ellie saving him, but then changes his mind seconds later because he remembers that she pretty much blew him up last time he fought a villain, pretty much saving his life. So yeah, Haru, there is no doubt that my girl can handle little Miss Rosa here. However, Ellie doesn't want to fight her, but it looks like she doesn't have a choice as Rosa keeps attacking her. The fight between the two girls seemed to get a little intense as it goes on, and Ellie had to do what she had to do to, you know, not get killed. Rosa loses her control of her weapon, and right before then, she asks the man for help. But how could they help her when they are trapped under her spell? But then to her shock, she actually didn't get saved by a man, but by Ellie. Rosa surrenders and goes to wake up her boyfriend to stop the rain. But once he wakes up, he accidentally punches her and then puts the blame on Haru and takes his anger out on him. Haru tries to reason with him and tell him that he's the one who hit his girlfriend. But this guy is a dumb, and yeah, the chapter ends with him being pissed off. Now the two of them get into a pointless fight. Well, according to Haru and myself, this fight is pretty pointless. Although, I will admit, it does look pretty epic. Even in the anime, it doesn't look too bad. Anyways, back to the chapter. The fight continues on between the two as Haru uses explosion and this guy uses his thunder to attack. Speaking of that thunder, Ellie freaked out by the noise and had a slight image of the man that she remembered, then throws Blue towards the guy by accident. He attempts to smash Blue, but then his nose cracked through his weapon, which ends up being destroyed. And with no weapon, Haru goes in for the final blow. Haru wins the fight, go figure, as he noticed the rain hasn't stopped. He asked why it hasn't stopped until Rosa woke up and noticed her boyfriend on the ground. She wakes him up and then kicks him in the face for punching her in the face. They get into an argument until Haru interrupts and points towards the rain. Rosa and Go show them the machine that causes the rain to fall for the past 5 years. Haru told him to shut it off, but the problem is that Go doesn't remember where to find the off switch. Another problem is that there are 6 buttons on the machine, and all but the off switch are self-destructive. But Blue pushes one of the buttons, freaking everybody out, but since the machine didn't blow up, it means it was the correct one. Haru and Ellie are glad they managed to stop the rain. Ellie got scared of Go's anger and told Haru that they should leave, but before that, Go shows Ellie a photo of a man who turns out to be the one that she encountered on the day that she has woken up with her amnesia. Go and Rosa don't know this man personally, but he goes by the name Elemental Master, who can control all the different elements. Ellie thanked them for the information as her and Haru make their leave, and the village of Skia get their sunshine for the first 5 years, giving the little boy a happy smile. Haru and Ellie return to the village and greeted by the little boy. Everybody is happy, now including the couples that caused it, but no more harm done, right? Now that the little mission is all settled, Haru and Ellie are riding towards their next location. As they were riding along within the next chapter, they ended up running into Griff. Haru asks him what is it like in the north. Griff tells them about a giant hole in the mountains known as Akumi Halls. Griff says that there's a possibility that the Rave Stone could be there, there. He also told him that the demon cards are there as well, looking for the stone as the army is run by Shuda. He is later alarmed by one of the men about the Rave Master approaching the dig site, but Shuda isn't worried because he sent out an assassin. Haru and Ellie find the dig site and saw lots of guards around as they have no way of getting inside. Meanwhile, Plu noticed somebody sitting behind them, and it turns out to be a huge bear that can talk. The bear's name is Kuma, as he lived on these mountains for the past 50 years. Haru tells him that they need to find something within that hall, but the bear warns them about the danger, and it's like a maze with no guarantee to come back alive. But Haru will continue to press on as he told the bear that he made a promise to his sister that he will come back alive. The bear might have noticed that this could be the Rave Master until he gets spotted by the group in the army. As they were running away from the men, Ellie gets an idea and asks Haru to knock him out. They end up stealing their uniforms, pretending to be deliverers, and manage to sneak in. But little do they know is that they are being watched by a mysterious man. Ellie and Haru manage to sneak in and witness the site of the workplace. Shuda learned that the Rave Master made his way into the halls as he expected and sets up traps for him, along with the assassin to keep him on his trail. Here shows the mysterious man that we witnessed before and ends up tracking down Ellie and Haru. The two went deeper into the cave until Ellie, Griff, and Plu fell asleep due to a bunch of flowers that Haru found within the cave. He used the explosion to destroy the flowers, but only to make things worse as it spreads its pollen around, causing him to fall asleep as well. Sometime later, Haru wakes up along with Ellie, Plu, and Griff as they are greeted by a man named Dr. Skyder. Yeah, he's not suspicious at all. The doc helps him wake up from the pollen flowers and gives him a vaccination. Here, we get a little detail that Haru is afraid of needles. Oh yeah, every hero in Mashima's manga always has one weakness. For Natsu, it's any signs of vehicles or transportation. For Shiki, it's bugs. And for Haru, it's needles. I kind of find it ironic that the heroes of the show always had that small little weakness. You know, like motion sickness can really put a guy down no matter how strong he is. I call this one of the creator's tropes. There's always some connection between the stories. Anyways, back to the chapter, the doctor starts to explain to Ellie and Haru about his situation in the cave and why he's there. He has been studying the cave for a long time and agrees to help them. But once again, they seem to be followed by the mysterious man who seems to spot them with a knife in his hand. Oh my god, could this be the assassin that Shuda hired to kill the Rave Master? You'll soon find out who this assassin really is. The mysterious man seemed to continue to follow Haru and the others, but the doctor seems to have gotten them lost as he doesn't remember the way. So Ellie thinks about relying on Plu's nose as he enters one of the paths in front of them, but then later on he ends up behind them. It seems they have been running in circles and the crew decided to rest for a while. They all end up falling asleep once again as the mysterious man is waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. But right before the assassin was about to strike, the doctor wakes up and manages to get caught by the mysterious man. Yeah, it turns out that the assassin is actually the doctor, and the mysterious man happens to turn out to be Musica with a new hairstyle. That is what you call a twisted fake out. They had this whole build-up of this mysterious shadowy person being the assassin, when in truth, it was the nice doctor who helped them earlier. You know the terms, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Anyways, Musica seemed to fight off the assassin and later reveal himself to Ellie and Haru. Haru and Ellie are happy to see Musica, and the assassin seems to recognize his name and demands to know his reason for being here, as Haru asked him the same question. Well, it turns out that his gang decided to lay low for a while, and Musica wanted to kill some time and heard about the treasure within Akumi Hall. Haru and Musica get into a fight because Musica wants to steal the rave and Haru wants it for more important things. Musica starts to badmouth him for being a naive child and trusting anyone so easily. You know, Musica does have a good point. I know he's being a jerk right now, but I'm with him on this one. But I also know Haru will eventually learn his lesson and not make the same mistake again. Musica continues to harass Haru as he too wants to start a fight with him. Both Ellie and Griff wants him to stop, but it's no good. So Ellie has no other choice but to shoot them both down. Now that is one way to stop a fight. fight. Because Ellie is the one who took them both down, she playfully commands them to do as she says and leads the way. Musica and Haru both laughed and smiled at Ellie's craziness and called a truce. Musica decided to help them find the Rave as they walked their way through the cave, but then Ellie noticed that Blue is missing and had to go find him. Meanwhile, the doctor who escaped earlier is patching himself up, and then Shuda came along. The doctor changed his clothes and told Shuda to get his money ready. Back with Haru and the gang, they managed to find a door, and Griff noticed some strange writings on it, as Ellie managed to somehow translate. She translated what it says and that the Rave is behind that door, but also a warning of the ghost of Cypherna. Ellie isn't sure how she can read it, and Haru is pushing to get the door open, which it does, and some force pushed him back as it revealed to be somebody inside. That someone turns out to be the bear that Haru and Ellie met earlier in the woods. They followed the bear inside, and it seemed to be some sort of temple. The bear turns out to be one of the guardians of the Rave, and he was the one that built that room. He also told them that he was once human, and that he also knows Blue but forgets to greet him properly. The bear's name is Deerhound, and that he is one of the 4 Knights of the Blue Sky that fought alongside with Sheba, the previous Rave Master. The 4 Knights died within the war, and that their spirits took form of animals in order to protect the Rave for the past 50 years. Ellie asked if he had the Rave Stone, and he said he does, but it looks like he was about to say something else until Haru interrupted him, saying that Sheba has been searching for the Rave for the past 50 years, all alone without any friends. Haru asked Deerhound why he didn't help Sheba, but Deerhound said that he couldn't since he couldn't speak to the living. Haru felt bad for Sheba, and that his life was worthless because of his loneliness. But Deerhound disagreed, and that Sheba's life wasn't worthless, and that he was happy with the life he lived. Deerhound later showed Haru a grave with swords of the fallen warriors that died in the war, as Haru shred tears of their deaths. He hears the screams and cries from beyond the grave, and with that, Deerhound gifted him with the Rave of Knowledge. He also stated that the Raves were created to stop any other wars from happening. Haru is happy to accept the Rave, and Deerhound is happy to give it. But then all of a sudden, Deerhound starts to fall to the ground at the end of the chapter, which is now the end of the volume. And I have to say that this is the first time I've seen a cliffhanger like this. I mean, the bear just suddenly falls down without any explanation does get my curiosity on the run. I mean, he could have been attacked by Shuda and his men, or he could just fallen ill. We wouldn't know at this point in time now, would we? But we can take guesses. And some people like me that read the manga already knows what's going to happen in the next volume. And those of you who haven't will find out soon enough. Well then everyone, thank you so much for watching. And if you are new here, you can subscribe to this channel, and you can also hit that notification button for more updates on my newest videos. And don't forget, you can check me out on Twitter, TikTok, and Discord. And I'll see you all in the next video. RoseRed17 out.